Hi, welcome to Deep Recaps. Today's film is the psychological thriller, Edge of Winter. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and enjoy the ride. Elliot Baker is a father, and his hand is in a cast. Why? Because he punched his boss, that's why. And for that, Elliot has recently lost his job. Elliot and his wife, Karen, are divorced, which must be sad for him. As for her, she seems fine with her new husband. Elliot and Karen have two sons. Brad is the eldest, and Caleb is the younger brother. One day, Karen and her second husband drop off the boys. Brad is a teenager. He goes about his days in a typical reclusive manner, as teens do. He is dopey and behaves rudely. He also gets into constant brotherly arguments with Caleb. As Brad and Caleb settle into their dad's bedroom, they find his shotgun. Instead of being cautious, they start playing around with it. Elliot finds out and quickly snatches it from them. After that, he yells at them for being so careless. Yes, Shotgun Dad, your small children are the careless ones. He immediately calms down and then takes this opportunity to show them manly things. He offers to take them to his old logging yard to teach them to shoot. On the way, they stop at a gas station to buy some stuff. There, Elliot sneakily looks at Brad's phone. He sees a message where Brad has referred to Elliot as his real father in a sarcastic manner. He also sees photos of them enjoying a skiing trip with their stepfather. Later, as they near their destination, they see that the path has been blocked. So, Elliot decides to run through it. Brad is worried, but Caleb is enthusiastic about their dad's hood rat tendencies. They finally reach the logging yard. Elliot starts teaching his sons how to handle the shotgun safely and properly. Brad takes the first try. The shotgun's kick knocks him back and hurts his shoulder. Brad is embarrassed about it, so Elliot throws some snowballs at him, and the three of them get into a snowball fight. But Brad, being a teenager, is too cool for his family and does not appreciate the bonding opportunity. He goes to sulk inside the car. Caleb, meanwhile, is enjoying spending time with his father like this. Elliot even offers him some beer, and he takes it. What a caring father he is. Soon afterwards, as Caleb is about to shoot, they see a rabbit. Brad tells him not to do it, but Caleb shoots. He scores. He is immediately traumatized by what he just did. Elliot does not notice this. He congratulates Caleb on making a good shot, after which he goes to end the rabbit's suffering. Caleb is still shocked. Welcome to the real world, buddy. As they're about to leave, Brad notes that Elliot is kinda drunk. So, Elliot gives him the car keys. Brad is shocked at first, but there's no way he's missing this opportunity. Since his stepfather never lets Brad drive, Elliot is doubly keen to play teacher. As they drive, Caleb teases Brad, so Brad teases him back. Caleb then starts kicking Brad's seat, and the two brothers get into an argument. Elliot tries to stop them, but he's too late, and the car drives headlong into a snowbank. Elliot goes out and tries to push it out, with Brad running the engine. However, it's all useless, and the car is stuck. Brad tries to call his mom, but gets no signal. They are far from home, so they have to spend the night in the car. In the middle of the night, Caleb asks Elliot why he left them. Elliot admits that he and Karen were super young when Karen got pregnant, only a little older than Brad's age right now. He was immature then, but now he admits that his children are the best things in his life. He then makes a request to his sons not to tell their mother what happened today. So, Caleb lets him in on a little secret. Their stepfather got a promotion, so they'll be moving to London in a month. Elliot is shocked and goes into denial. He then starts hitting the car in anger and hurts his injured hand even more. His sons are extremely scared of him now. Elliot then goes outside and stares into the darkness. After a while, he calms down and the three of them go to sleep. The next morning, the boys wake up, shivering in the cold. Elliot informs them that his logging team has a cabin nearby, so he'll take them there. Brad wants to wait for help on the highway, but Elliot convinces them that going to the cabin will be an adventure. They make a long and cold journey throughout the day in the blowing snow. As they're walking on a frozen lake, they hear a strange sound that seems like a vehicle. Brad wants to follow it, but the sound dies down, and Elliot pushes them back on track. They finally see the cabin at the lakeside. However, as they walk towards it, Brad steps on thin ice and falls through. Elliot quickly jumps in, and after a long struggle, he manages to pull Brad out. They quickly rush into the cabin, where Caleb finds some dry clothes. Elliot then commands Caleb to alter some carbon for Peter Parker and make a fire while changing Brad's wet clothes. As they calm down while warming themselves in front of the fire, Elliot starts crying, saying that he screwed up, but Caleb calms him down, saying that they're having fun. Caleb then pulls his father back to the fire. This is not the homecoming that Elliot was hoping to give his sons. That night, as they're resting, a strange noise comes from outside. The kids quickly bring up the shotgun, ready to shoot, but it's just two men, Richard and Luke, who have been hunting in the region and using this cabin for shelter. Elliot is suspicious of them, so he makes Brad take their guns. Luke gets angry, saying that they got here first. Caleb offers to share the cabin, so Elliot lets them in. When Richard hears that Brad fell through the ice, he offers some alcohol, but Elliot declines it and sends his sons to the back room to sleep. He then goes inside and gives his hunting knife to Brad, just in case. He tries to listen to the two men talking, but they're talking in French. Since Brad knows French, he listens at the door. The men are just discussing how to retrieve their truck, which has also gotten stuck apparently. The following morning, Elliot goes out for a little walk. Richard is about to go fetch his truck, and Caleb asks to go with him, but Richard does not want to create any more issues and asks Caleb to stay at the cabin. Later, as Richard is trying to move his truck, Elliot arrives. He offers to help Richard, and Richard kindly promises to get their kids out of there. Richard then gets his radio to work properly again and starts asking the other person on the line for help. When Elliot hears this, he immediately knocks Richard down and cuts off his radio signal. An unhinged Elliot starts repeating that they're going to take away his kids. A frightened Richard attempts to run away, but Elliot stops him, asking him to calm down. Instead of explaining his worries, he starts strangling Richard and smashing his head against the ground. Richard is out cold, and Elliot becomes scared and confused. Back at the cabin, Luke is having a nice time with Caleb, chopping wood. Luke then says that Richard is taking too long, so he goes to check. He reaches the truck and is surprised to find it abandoned, and Richard nowhere to be seen. He starts calling out to his friend, while Elliot is looking on from a distance. Just then, Brad and Caleb hear a gunshot that startles them, so Caleb quickly runs to check. He finds his father with a dead deer. Elliot makes Caleb hold the deer's leg while he disembowels it. Just then, Luke comes to them and demands to know where Richard is. Brad also shows up. Luke thinks that Elliot did something to his friend, so he asks them to come with him. He then starts saying something to Brad in French, so Elliot quickly punches him. After that, he readies his rifle to shoot the man. Thankfully, Caleb ruins his aim, and Luke manages to escape. Elliot then takes his sons back to the cabin, saying that he just wants to protect them. He then leaves. Brad realizes that their father does not want to leave this place, so they decide to escape without him. As they rummage around the place, they find 2 sets of car keys, which confuses them. Elliot arrives after some time and is furious to see their empty beds. The 2 boys are now walking across the dark and snowy landscape. Brad starts complaining that it's all because they came out here to shoot stupid guns. Just then, Elliot appears from behind some trees. More than angry, he sounds heartbroken that his kids left him. He says that it's his job to protect them. Brad scoffs when he hears this, so Elliot confronts his son, demanding to know what's on his mind. When Brad stays silent, Elliot starts pushing him around. He does it until Brad fights back. Elliot is happy that his son is fighting back like a man. Brad screams quite a bit, and then he starts coughing terribly. So, the 3 of them calm down and go back to the cabin. There, Elliot puts his sons in the back room again and locks the door. Brad gets super angry and smashes the bed. Now, it seems that they have no way home. Later, Elliot can be heard chopping firewood as the 2 brothers listen. Next, Brad and Caleb use a metal rod to pick out a floorboard. Caleb goes in, which leads him under the cabin. He starts crawling around looking for a way out when he comes across Richard's corpse. He tells this to Brad. Brad quickly gives him the men's truck keys and tells him to go quickly and get help. So, Caleb goes out and runs into the night. As Brad is removing another floorboard, Elliot comes to the door. He asks if they're all right, and then repeats that he's just trying to protect them, and they have to trust him. Brad agrees to whatever his father says until he goes away. Meanwhile, Caleb reaches the truck. Inside, he is shocked to find Luke. Luke says that he managed to dig out the truck, but Richard has the keys. Caleb pulls out the keys. When he says that his father had them, Luke is shocked, but he comes to his senses and tells Caleb to get in. However, Caleb will not leave without Brad. Back in the cabin, Brad puts the floorboards together and smashes the lantern to light them on fire. When the cabin catches fire, Elliot rushes back. Brad quickly goes under the floor and escapes while Elliot enters their room. When he sees the hole in the floor, he goes outside, looking for his sons. Brad tries to hide, but Elliot finds him and grabs him. He talks calmly to Brad, saying that he does not want to lose his sons. Just then, Caleb arrives. He promises to stay here if Elliot will teach them to fish and hunt. Elliot, happy to hear this, calms down for a moment. Luke then hits him from behind. He takes the two boys away. But Elliot wakes up quickly. He is too fast and manages to knock out Luke. He throws continuous, furious punches until Luke stops moving. Brad and Caleb are absolutely shocked, but they manage to reach the hunter's truck. As they start driving away, Elliot catches up. The big man is terrified and sad that his sons are trying to leave him. So he grabs on to Caleb, pleading with them to stay with him. But Caleb kicks him away, despite being scared. Elliot looks on as his sons drive away. Caleb starts crying, and Brad reassures him that they'll be okay. If Edge of Winter taught me one thing, it's how to be a kick-ass dad. Subscribe for more content like this, turn on notifications to be the first to see new drops, and leave a like to help us out with the almighty YouTube algorithm. See you next time.